What's up guys, Justin Morgan here, Carved Up Vegan Muscle. This video is going to break down a little bit on some topics that you guys might be interested in if you're a fan of Dmitry Klokov, the Russian weightlifter who took silver at the 2008, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one. He took second place at the 2008 Olympics for weightlifting. A lot of people are very interested in him. He does a lot of coaching with CrossFit now, and he has a sick physique, so I think that has largely to do with why people are so interested in Dmitry Klokov. But he's done several interviews where he discussed what he calls the Russian training system for weightlifting, and he's done interviews where he kind of discussed exercising or training and how it's implemented and how he does it. He's done a lot of his own coaching in addition to being coached by the Russian weightlifting coaches that he had access to. His dad was also a Olympic competitor back in, I think, like the 70s or somewhere in that era. So it has a lot of very well-informed programming aspects. So I've taken those outlines that he made and I will post them up for you to look at and kind of view where I'm drawing this from. There are multiple interviews that were in Russian, so I either used a translator or they had subtitles, so I was able to do it since I don't speak Russian. So I've compiled this just for my own knowledge, and I thought I would share it with you guys. I will post the program up for you to screenshot if you wish, but the program will also be at my Facebook page, the Carved Up Vegan Muscle Facebook page, which I will include a link to in the description box below if you are interested in finding it that way. If you are not watching this video within the first few days, though, you likely will not be able to get to that, so I would recommend screenshotting in that case. And I will also do a follow-up video on how someone who's not a weightlifter, who's more interested in powerlifting or general conditioning, might take some of these elements and integrate them into their training that way. So without further ado, here's the program. I will throw it up now. And as far as the program itself goes, I'll give a little bit of explanation. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday sessions are sports specific, and they are broken up into an AM session and a PM session. So those will hinge largely around the snatch in the morning and the clean and jerk in the evening. So the snatch training session in the morning will involve warm-ups, of course, and I will say that what is not included in this program is Dmitry Klokov has, in the programs that I've seen him write, hyperextensions almost daily. So that is something that you might consider. I think that's just a general part of the warm-up, but basic mobility and things, conditioning, I'm assuming would be like very light conditioning. Like walking or something like that would probably be what I would guess would be the part of the warm-up, but I'll leave that up to your discretion. The examples that he gave that I will share with you are one that usually he would say, like maybe on Monday you would do a deficit snatch. So you are snatching with the bar below, you're standing on some kind of platform or whatever, where the barbell is at a deficit. It's lower than it would normally be if you were just deadlifting off of the floor. The hang snatch is another variation that you might do on the Wednesday. So this is the very first movement. The very most specific movement that you can get to would be the snatch. So Monday, maybe at a deficit. So Wednesday, in the AM session, you would do maybe a hang snatch. So you bring it up, you pause below the knee, and then you finish the movement from there, doing the full movement. Then maybe on Friday you might do something like the actual movement itself, the competition style snatch off of the floor without a deficit and without a pause. So that is the very first movement. Second, what I have seen in some of his program that he's wrote for people is that you would do some type of complex. Now a complex is a cycle of movements where you do multiple movements. For those of you who don't know, if you're advanced enough to do this program though, then likely you've probably already know what a complex is. So the first would be maybe a muscle snatch with a behind the neck snatch press, and then an overhead snatch. So you would do 2, 2, and 3 with 3 sets going up in weight each time. So that's one thing. So you do 3 sets of that, 2 reps on each of those movements as you go. So 2 muscle snatches, 2 behind the neck snatch presses, plus 2 overhead snatches. And so 3 sets of that. So that would be 1 movement. He recommends doing 3 to 4 movements each time, for each session. So that's one option. Then that's one option for a complex anyways. The next thing is that you go on and do maybe a deficit snatch deadlift plus a deficit snatch. With straps, of course. He generally recommends using straps, except for, of course, in competition, you're not allowed to use straps, so most weightlifters use straps on a regular basis. It's just part of the sport. If you're not familiar with using straps, I do not recommend that you wrap regular straps all the way around the barbell. You want them to be loose enough that if you miss a lift and you have to let go, that this wraps will unhinge and they won't jerk your arms behind you. I've seen that happen before. So the deficit snatch deadlift, 3 reps, 3 sets, going up in weight. So it's not like a 5x5 or a 3x5 or something like that. You do 3 reps, and each one of them goes up until you reach a 1 heavy set. I recommend not going, this is my personal recommendation, I don't know what Dmitry Klokov would have to say about this, but I would recommend not going above the RPE of 9. So rate of perceived exertion on a scale of 1 to 10. We don't want to go to absolute failure. We want to keep it within, you know, working weights that are manageable for you to use. Now that's another one. Another exercise that you might do that he recommends is doing snatch grip high pulls. So if you're doing like a high pull, you have it in this a regular high pull with the a regular high pull would be, so then obviously a snatch grip high pull would be with the snatch grip. You're in the snatch position, so you just don't finish the movement. That would be definitely one option for an exercise. He says to do that for 5 sets of 5. Snatch grip behind the neck press, just like it sounds. You're in the snatch position, and it's a behind the neck press. So then same idea, 3 reps, 3 sets, going up in weight. And as I mentioned, these will be in on my Facebook page, the program outlined on paper that you can print out, and I also posted it up so that you could screenshot it. So that is a basic template of the AM session for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. For Monday, Wednesday, Friday PM session, it's going to be the same idea except for with cleans. So examples of what Dmitry Klokov has used in other programs is that you do a deficit, a hang, or a competition movement. Same concept that I explained with the snatch. But then you're going to go on and you might do another clean complex or some type of complex that involves the clean. There's many out there that you can look up. But one that he recommended was that you do the clean plus a front squat plus a push press plus a pause jerk. And that is each 1 rep for each one, and then you do 3 sets total going up in weight. Same idea as before, going up to about an RPE of 9. You do 1 heavy set and then you're done. Now, you do also do a deadlift this time, so that is 2 deadlifts. You might vary these up so that you do maybe a snatch deadlift on Monday, a clean deadlift on Wednesday, and a snatch deadlift on Friday if you're doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday variations. There are also Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, which I will get to in a few moments, but this is just the AM and PM session for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And as far as getting back to the cleans, each of those, you would vary up the deadlift, so you might not actually do, you know, both of the same movements. These are just examples of movements that you could use. So another one is press from the racks, 3 reps, 3 sets. He says to take with care in using heavier lifts. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I would assume that's like some of his variation of the RPE scale. Hyper extensions, 5 sets of 10. Again, he says careful with how much weight you use. So I would say that's probably likely the RPE scale or how he would integrate it. So the next part is those are the sport-specific days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the Russian system, which Dmitry Klokov says pretty much all Russian weightlifters use. So then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are direct strength days. So these are days where you focus primarily on strength-specific movements rather than sport-specific movements. So he says there's some mixture of the squats, the presses, and the pulls, and I will give, like before, a rough version of what he has described in other areas. For the squat, you will do 2 to 3 reps, and you will do that for 3 to 5 sets. So you might work up to a weight that is roughly, in that RPE of 8 scale on a scale of 1 to 10. So with 8, you're going to save a few reps left in the tank. So you may say you're doing 3 reps, you're going to do something that you could have actually done 5 or 6 reps with. But you're only going to do 3, and you're going to do that for 3 to 5 sets. If you get to the 3rd set and you still feel really good, you're going to keep going. You're going to go do another 4th set and then a 5th set. If you get to 5 sets and you're really not feeling fatigued, then it probably wasn't a heavy enough weight to begin with. If you get to the 3rd set and you feel like you're dying, then it was probably too heavy to begin with. So that's just a loose variation on what you might consider with that. For presses, I'm going to say that you would likely do the push or the strict press, which is what he recommended in other programs that I saw from him. And he seemed to be a fan of doing 3 sets of 3. I'm sure these are all variations or varying in how many reps and sets that you do, but these are just rough examples. Again, you would have to study a little bit further if you wanted to have a long-term plan or program where you integrate a system like this. And then for pulls, I would say you're likely not going to do deadlifts because you're deadlifting 1 to 2 times a day on Monday, Wednesday, Friday with either a snatch grip or a clean pull, which is different than a regular deadlift if you're not a weightlifter. But so for the pulling exercise, then you might do rows or weighted pull-ups for 5 sets of 5. And again, there's some discretion on weight. I would kind of go with the same idea of doing a weight that you would start out with an RPE of about 8 and then continue doing 3 to 5 sets, or well, he says 5 by 5, so 5 sets. Ideally, you'll probably become fatigued about the 5th set, so there's some variation within how you do that. You could alternate those back and forth, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the strength session, and do some variation within how you do that. So that's just a rough outline. Look for the next video where I will discuss how you might integrate this system into powerlifting, and I will talk to you in that video. Take it easy, guys.